going back to Kurt Angle, now this brings up a good debate with Kenny Omega and Kurt Angle, which we have never talked about, I don't think, on this show, even though I see it all the time as a knock on Dave Meltzer and the Wrestling Observer. Now, a debate that was going on.
Don't you knock Dave around me now.
Oh, no, that's your job. I know that.
Totally defend him.
Now, I think both of us think that star ratings for matches are ultimately silly for a number of reasons. Which, I mean, I'm sure you can give all the reasons, but a lot of other people, not least quite a lot of people who are currently in the business wrestling, sort of live and die by Dave Meltzer's star ratings. Mm-hmm. So having that said, Kenny Omega currently has 25 matches that have been rated 5 stars or higher, because he has up to 7-star match ratings, him and Okada, rated by the Wrestling Observer. Kurt Angle, who is the greatest, most complete wrestler in wrestling history, according to Kenny Omega, has 0 5-star matches. So considering that the new scale seems to be 7 stars, things are now getting sort of silly in that respect as well. Now matches are routinely getting over 5 stars, which breaks the scale and then makes 5 stars redundant. Now it's 7 anyway. But so apparently Kurt Angle's the greatest of all time and can't get one single 5-star match. Where's the disconnect?
Well, how many times did he go to Japan and work in the dome? See, a lot of Meltzer's, a lot of his ratings are mostly Japanese matches. Yes or no?
Yeah, the majority are.
Okay. How many American matches did he give a 5-star?
Right, so I can tell you that I don't have that information. He's given 252 matches 5 stars or higher since the Observer started in 82 or so.
And when did he start the 5-star crap?
Yeah, probably around that 82, 83. He was giving star ratings, yeah.
Well, Meltzer, to me, I wouldn't give him the time of day. And I don't blame him for doing what he did. He found a niche that he could get into, and they had nobody doing it. So he started the Observer newsletter, and he started with just, I don't know what you call that, what he did. It was really cheap. And he'd print it out, and then he'd send it out for like $1 a week or $1. I guess he did by months, $5 a month or whatever. But he finally got subscribers, so enough subscribers that became his job doing that. Because if the need is there, plus he enjoyed doing it, plus he came like a expert on the business. So I don't blame him for doing that, but to the regular wrestling person in the trenches, there's not a lot of respect for Dave at all. Now, there may be a lot of respect with the younger guys or more, but with the older guys, no.
Well, that's what I'm going to ask. When did this happen where maybe not the majority, but there was a significant portion of a locker room that was really interested in putting on the best 5-star match possible instead of, do you know what I mean, doing the best thing for the match, or the whole getting your shit in thing?
I don't know. See, I went out there and tried to play to the fans that were on hand. See, and I think Japan, the allure of Japan, had a certain fascination for Dave. So I think he would go over there and cover their matches. Now the dome seats how many people?
60,000,
60,000.
Yeah.
Well, I think when he went over there and he saw a 60,000 seat house, how many times a year did they run that? Twice? More? 3 times?
Good. I don't know. That's a very good question.
I don't. And they got so many organizations in Japan now. If you talked about one of them, I don't even know what you're talking about, to tell you the truth. I don't follow Japanese wrestling. But all the guys do look good, and they do beat the living crap out of them. That's when the almost the shoot fighting started was they would, and I worked for a group over there. Now I got to tell this story. These guys were stiffer than, I mean, I've been in easier street fights than, I mean, they would just kick the living crap out of you. They just wouldn't kick you in the head or punch you in the head. But any other parts of the body was open range, buddy. I come back one night, and I think it was Bob Sweetan was in there and Scott Casey. I thank Terry Funk for this.
Because everybody's favorite, Bob Sweetan.
Oh, yeah. He gave, I went back and I said, damn, these guys can't work worth a damn. And Casey looked at me, he says, they didn't tell you? I said, what? He says, these are semi-shoot fighters. I went, what? They didn't tell me. Nobody told me. I thought they just were just stiff as hell. And then later on, I got a reason for these guys being as stiff as they were is because the mafia was heavily involved in wrestling back in those days. I don't know if they still are or not. I don't know. But they didn't want, any of those guys didn't want anything going back to the mafia guys that you weren't as tough as you should have been. This is Japanese guys. So that's why they beat the hell out of everybody they was in the ring with. So, but who was the leader of the first shoot group over there? What was his name?
Oh, you're thinking of Maeda.
Kendo? No.
Akira Maeda, I think, UWF.
No, don't bring his name up to me. No. He knocked me out. But there was another one that got killed.
Oh, Ricky Dozan, you mean?
Ricky Dozan. Yeah. And he was heavy in the mafia, from what I hear. I stayed away from those guys. Because you see a guy running around, I've told this story before, one finger missing.
Yeah.
So when they had one by 3 fingers missing, he was really a damn screw up. So, and you could always pick them out. They'd always have the sunglasses on, the black suit on, and the black tie and the white shirt. They stood out like that was their uniform. So you knew who was who. But I think he had a love, Meltzer had a love for that, and he just kept it up. And, you know, if you keep putting stuff out that you're the expert and you know more than everybody else, and, oh, you know, the backstory and all this, yeah, after a while you will get the reputation of knowing what you're talking about, whether he does or not.
Is it more of a problem that Dave Meltzer has never given 5 stars to a Kurt Angle match, or is it more of a problem that people care?
Yeah, but what people actually, I mean, talking about a 5-star match unless you're talking to another wrestling fan that pays attention to that, I don't think it matters at all. But he had a good deal going. He found it first, basically. And he zeroed in on it, and it was successful for him. I'm glad for him.
Oh yeah, he's a multi-millionaire from it. Absolutely.
I can't stand him, but at least he found it, and whether he's right or not. No. But even if he's right or not, people like me, I'm saying that bullshit. That son of he gets my attention, so he's doing something right.